Hello everybody, and welcome to A Link to the Past, All Dungeons, Restricted Major Glitches Tournament. One of these days I'll be able to say that clearly. Lower bracket round 4, Louie versus Thalane. Commentating for us are Apathy Duck and Ninnies. Say hello everybody.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
I'm alright. How are you?
Oh, making it through day by day.
Yeah, more or less. But yeah, we got a pretty good one today. We got thalane versus Louie matched up today. I was just looking at the brackets. Thalane's actually been on a tear through the losers bracket. He was actually been in the losers bracket since the very first round, sent there by checks in the first round, and he's won every single losers bracket match so far, even outlasting checks who lost in this round to Doomtap. So Thalane's been sticking around a while. Louie, meanwhile, just got sent to the losers bracket by Ari, one of the top players in this match. So Louie's a very, very skilled opponent here. He's got a 1048 PB with 3 blue balls, which is kind of nutty. So he's got a very good time. But Thalane is a very good player as well. Plays a lot of the randomizers. Got a lot of skill. So he's definitely a tough out. Can't really make mistakes against Thalane and still expect to win. So it should be a pretty good match. Looks like we're getting started here right now.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested on like the consistency of both of our runners. I mean, the 110 with, you said 6 blue balls, that's actually pretty insane. So like the end part
3,
of this run,
not 6.
3, sorry.
That'd be a one.
I know.
Oh
That's why I was losing my mind over it. I was like 6 and a 110. Okay, but still, I mean, 3's about average, so there's still a bit of time saved there. And then I'm not very familiar with Thalane's runs either, so consistency could be really nice here.
Yeah, Thalane looks like he does have a 112. I wasn't sure if he actually got the 112 or still in the low 113s. But yeah, 112 is still a pretty good time. I think Thalane of the people who are left, I think still has the lowest PB. Everyone else left either has 111s or 110s. So Thalane's done pretty well in this tournament for his PB time. Again, just kind of sticking through it. I think he's the last 3 matches I've seen him. He's come in and said, "Well, this is my last match," and he's managed to pull off the win. So he can definitely do it again here. Kind of like a 112 versus a 110. It doesn't take a lot of mistakes for a 110 player to pull a 112 time. So, still could be. And like, I know, this tournament's going on for a while. Like, I don't think Louie's really been grinding this category too much lately. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to watch. I believe, even with just the losers bracket with who remain and then the winners bracket with who remain, I think it's the difference in between their times is anywhere from like a minute and a half to maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, Zelda's still on there. He kind of opens up the top range, so it's like Zelda's got like a 109.34 and Thalane with the high 112. So yeah, just over 3 minutes for the entire range of who's left. But again, like that's Zelda actually getting upset by Dow. Dow having a very good run with his first 111. Zelda had a couple troubles in that run. Ended up pulling a low 112. So I mean, you can see like that was probably one of the biggest, at least from a PB standpoint, differences. And Dow was able to get the win there. So we've said it before. This category, pretty much anything can happen, especially with when everyone's are so close to their PBs. You really can't have a big mistake and expect to win.
Yeah, something I also love to see just in this tournament is like the amount of race PBs that we have. So people kind of came in with 114s, 113s. They're now looking at 112s, 111s. So we've had a lot of impressive gains throughout this tournament.
Yeah, Thalane had he hadn't run this category in quite some time. He had a 119 PB coming into this, and he's now sitting on a 112. So really improved. Yeah, really quickly. He's probably might have had the biggest improvement, honestly. But a lot of that was just he was obviously better than his 119 when he came into this. Just him sitting down and actually playing the category. So he's got his PB is far more indicative of his skill now. Definitely could definitely be pushing those 111s if he wanted to.
I'm looking at Louis' split. Does Louis split at Link's house after the saving?
Yeah, some people have taken to doing that because of the rat frames. That kind of bleeds over into the next split because you have to throw away like 15 frames in Escape to save 70 in the next one. So it's a little bit of a cleaner split. Some people have like in NMG, people will split leaving Sanctuary. We don't leave Sanctuary here. So the most common place in this split is in this category is to split on leaving Link's house.
Gotcha. So like, usually when we look at like Escape, this question is a little bit more just for like people like me that don't understand like a good timing for Link's house split. Usually a really good Escape is anywhere from like 551 to like 554. Where's like a really good split for at Link?
I have no idea.
All right, I was just shooting. I was trying to find something.
We'll say 622 because Louis is pretty good, so I assume he probably has a pretty good Escape.
That's pretty safe. Wow, very nice snake hallways. Like very similar RNG there.
Yeah, Escape's mostly going to be RNG, putting up some differences. Lane getting kind of a snake in his way right there, picking up the Dark Cross key, but managed to get through. Really, any differences here are not going to matter. The first, if both these guys decide to go for Citrus, that could, you can mess that up pretty easily, lose some time there. And then really, the pod segment is where things are probably going to start opening up between these two guys.
Now, we've seen a lot of people that normally do Citrus in a PB run not do it in the tournament setting. Do you think we'll see that again today?
Maybe. I think Louis is probably going to go for it. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not even sure if Lane goes for it normally, to be quite honest with you. Looking at his splits here. It looks like on his PB, at least he did it for the 42 Escape. That'd be really, really bad with a Citrus. Yeah, so Louis basically just like a second ahead right now. That's definitely gonna, depending on how the Citrus goes. So yeah, Louis had like a 53 Escape and ended up getting 26. So 22 is pretty good then. That'd be like the equivalent of like the 49, I believe. So yeah, that's really good.
That's pretty cool to have a little bit more context on that. I often wondered that a little bit. Just because, like, how some more people are starting to split there at Link's house.
Yeah, so he's going to hear Louis going to go for the Citrus. Lane's just going to go straight in. Louis getting some pretty mean RNG from this Octorock.
It was being pretty nice for the most part. Just a little worrying, I bet.
Yeah, with the nice thing about the select buffers is since the game's only advancing one frame at a time, you don't have to worry about it too much. He might have just opted to do the select buffers there because the Octorock was kind of right on top.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, like, already a divergent in paths and like kind of choosing to go for the clip rather not, and to really get a good look at the time gain and the time difference in between.
Yeah, I mean, these guys were pretty much neck and neck coming out of Escape. You can see Louis pretty much ahead by an entire room right here. I didn't have his select buffers take a little bit of time, so it's not the fastest Citrus ever, but did, gain a couple seconds on the lane. He's got those kind of in his back pocket right now. Still, really not going to be the deciding factor in this match, most likely. There's a whole lot of stuff left to happen.
Yeah, runs way too early to tell, but it did look like, at least for my novice eyes, snapping into like the pixels looked pretty.
Yeah, he did it cleanly. He just opted to use the select buffers, which are just going to be slower in general than sword buffers. Louis with the, the diagonal boom there. It's a nice strat. Both from getting the big key nicely. It can go, it's one of the places that Eastern can go poorly if they both have clean ones, so it should be pretty safe from here on out.
Very nice greenies there.
Yeah, that back of escape actually got some pretty tough rooms in it. Even that pot room is deceptively difficult to do fast.
Yeah, isn't there like just a frame rule if you do it a little bit too fast, even though that like the arrows might be where Link will actually pick them up, you'll just like scoot right past.
It's not the arrows. You can actually run into the anti-fair if you're going too fast in that room.
Yeah,
Which,
that's what I think I was remembering.
yeah, I know it happened to Lynx early in this tournament. He was already down half a heart too, so it ended up dying in Eastern. Louis opting to go with the pinkest strat on the Armos. One of the faster ways to do it. It's kind of like the nice median, like between fast and easy. A little bit more difficult than just the standard top right, but you can get save a good 20 frames in there using that strat.
Like just looking upon it, it looks a little bit harder. Like granted, like anything that seems harder probably saves a little bit more frames, but it definitely looks cool.
Yeah, well, it's certainly easier than like the Yuzu Armos or anything else, or like you stand in the middle and shoot them. And it's only a little bit slower than that, so it's a nice medium point between like just doing like a standard top right and like the full on like very difficult strats that are pretty fast.
I like thalane getting a really nice low Sahasrahla conversation there.
Lily with the bomb chest turn. thalane with possibly the worst chest turn I've ever seen in my life.
Took the Zoolander walk of chest turns.
Yeah, and then Louis having a little trouble with the priest, Thalane having a little trouble with the chest. All right, this really
trying to
isn't.
get the chest turns off.
Yeah, this really isn't supposed to be the difficult part of pod, but here we are. So. Yeah. Ooh. Wow. Thalane.
Just skates by.
Yeah. Usually, if you miss that first spin speed, you don't have enough time to do another one. So he got a little lucky there. I think the guards were just kind of giving him a favorable pattern, but a really nice save. But yeah, Louis just picking up a couple seconds here and there. He's got a nice little lead coming into pod here. If Louis plays cleanly, this is kind of how I expect it to go. He's just going to slowly pull away from Thalane. Thalane does need Louis to have a couple of disasters probably, but nothing too major.
Yeah, that was also really nice. Like, granted, Louis did get hit by the dead rock though, but I was actually able to like kind of push through and not get damaged back.
Yeah, most often you getting hit by at least one thing coming here. Louis doing the strat, he doesn't do the block, just kind of has a nice lineup, or I guess a visual cue setup.
Ooh, the lane very quick clip in there, very nice.
Yeah, they both had very good Kiki clips. still very close. We still have the hammer jump to get through on the split, and then the mimics. Two very difficult rooms, and of course we have Helma at the end.
Yeah, widely known as probably one of the biggest gatekeepers of this category.
Yeah, you kind of have to, when you're playing this, you kind of have to get through Helma, and then you have like 3 fairly consistent splits that are generally not too bad to get through. Ooh, thalane missing the bomb. That's pretty unfortunate. Losing the bomb there is pretty bad. You really don't have an option to pick up an extra bomb. That's not incredibly slow at this point, so he's gonna be down a bomb. Not only that, plus having to wait out the extra bomb fuse. So it's a pretty costly mistake, honestly.
Yeah, there is like some arrows and some bombs in the room that you drop down into, but you know, like Duck said, it's really not in your way, and it's just further time loss. So definitely better to push forward and just try to figure out where you can get an extra bomb drop or extra bomb.
Yeah, there's a couple opportunities in the run. Since we pick up, we want to leave here with 9, and then we'll leave Hera with 10. We end up being +1 in Hera. And then we just kind of slowly go through those to the rest of the route, picking up a couple extra ones. There's enough places to pick them up later before you really, you're gonna run out. So being down 1, not too bad, depending on what Thalane's bomb route is. Hopefully you can either get a drop or, there's a couple bombs later on that are pretty efficient to pick up. Or you can even just opt to...
a little bit rough though. I was a little bit worried. I thought just was kind of going for like a sword buffers, but decided to go for the heart.
Yeah, that heart is actually saves these pots you see Louis picking up right now. Each one, pretty much everyone picks up at least the first one, because you do the hammer jump. So you need that to get back up to 5. But each additional one, it's like the second one costs like 40 frames, and the third one costs like 60 frames. So getting that helmet heart drop is actually a pretty decent time save. You can see Thalane there just able to pick up the first pot and just dash to the right a lot faster than picking up additionals.
Nice healthy arrow total for the lane though.
Yeah, the arrows, having extra arrows on Helma is nice if he does give you kind of a bad pattern. You can opt to switch to arrows. Arrows aren't completely safe though, still, so it's not like completely free, but you do have them in your back pocket. Louis going for the dash out after OK Boomer, a pretty tricky strat. Unfortunately, doesn't get the lineup correct and bonks on the door.
Yeah, even with like the best RNG with Helmasaur, getting close up to the wall and then just doing the tail attack, you still only have opportunity to get 3 arrows shots in maybe, and that's like not including the menu to the arrows as well.
Yeah, it really just depends. Really you won't, if you have a nice fight and he gives you a good pattern, you really won't opt to him. It's just if things start getting out of control, you might decide to try to finish him off with some arrows. So he's in his Helma fight, getting a pretty nice phase 1 pattern, a little bit of a slow pattern. He's playing aggressively, not waiting for the fireballs to start this phase 2. And he gets a very nice pattern at the bottom here, very friendly, able to clean it up. Lane not having as much luck.
When you break the outer helm, if there's a fireball there, it'll like despawn it right at the same time that you break.
Yeah, honestly, if you're playing this category, I pretty much recommend waiting for the fireballs until you're really pushing some top times, because it just makes that beginning of that second phase a lot easier if you just make them despawn and you can get a couple hammer hits in and then try to finish them up.
Yeah, it's nice to have like a little bit of extra room to move around and not have to worry about like the way that the fireballs are going to explode. But like Thalane was kind of aggressively kind of pushing in there, getting that hammer dash in there for the last hit on Helmasaur. Very nice.
Yeah, and both of them showing off the hammer dashes just increases the hitbox of the hammer even more, can get you make some of the hammer hits a little bit easier. It's not like a strat, like it's a little bit difficult to do. It's just like another kind of like tool in your toolbox to use against this fight. Usually you see like kind of like a mix up of both of them. Just it's like a little bit more of like a wind up and then like a recoil afterwards. I like doing it when like it's lagging on the screen for the mass breaking, because you don't have to be quite as precise with it. Yeah, so Louis finishing pod with a 8:19. That's a pretty good pod time. So he's doing pretty well right here. I think Thalane, I can't quite see his splits, but I think it was like an 18:42. So yeah, Louis got a nice little 20-second buffer right here.
Ooh.
Oh, did Thalane miss the key? Yeah.
Left a little bit too soon and left the key like barely frames behind the pickup.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do the dash out strat for a while because because of that risk. What kind of eventually made me switch is because you throw it and then you walk down, dash out. If the not the Helma, the Moldorm blocks your boomerang, you're a lot closer to retry, and you can just kind of spam it. Louis having a little trouble with his petting zoo, able to get through it though without taking any damage.
Looks like Louis was trying to set up for a faster bomb jump but couldn't move the pixel, so decided to go for like the bonk strat just to increase the safety of it and make sure you get the jump first try.
Yeah, Louis gonna be heading into Moldorm with 4 hearts. What a blessed day for him. It probably means he's guaranteed to get knocked off here. Moldorm giving us pretty nice patterns though.
Oh yeah, aggressively chasing that tail and rewarded with a really nice Hera here.
Yeah, I mean, just staying right behind him is, if he's just kind of hanging out in the middle there, it's generally what you want to see. You can just kind of follow him. You know, you can only turn so fast, so if you just stay right behind him, it's pretty much the safest place to be.
It's like Moldorm's giving thalane a little bit of spooks here.
Yeah, this is pretty much the exact opposite of what you want him hanging out on the left side there. Ooh. Is able to...
Yeah, that was real close.
Yeah, so Louis is going to be increasing his gap over Flame even a little bit more here.
A nice clean entrance into Thieves Town right as the lane exits.
Yeah, these next 2 splits are pretty straightforward. They're pretty much just NMG style splits. Once we get past this first clip, which isn't too difficult, really just spin speed. So Flame probably not having too much opportunity to make up time here, but then we're going to be entering kind of like the gauntlet at the end from Desert Palace into Mire into Swamp into Ice. So probably going to be looking at those splits to hopefully close up this gap.
Yeah, we've also seen Skull Woods be a little bit mean to some of our runners as well. Different rooms in there, I mean, you can practice them, but still sometimes things just go a little bit too wrong, especially at Moth. Moth's been a little bit mean to some of our runners as of...
Yeah. Yeah, but unless you're me, they're probably going to get through it fine. And last I checked, neither of these runners are me, so I expect them to have pretty clean Skullwoods and Thieves Towns.
I'd say if both of the runners were you, this is really impressive. Is this like what, one controller, 2 console?
Yeah.
Thalane's taken a little bit of damage here so far in just the opening part of Thieves Town, so it's going to make this back half of it a little bit scary. Well, at least a semi-decent adjustment to the Hellway.
Louis not even going for the bomb strat. He didn't. I wonder if he like messed it up slightly or something. He was on bombs coming in here and switched the hammer last second. Oh, he falls off the bridge too.
Ooh, nice adjustment there from Thalane, knowing that the bomb wasn't going to go off before Link was out of the room.
Wow, Louis getting really bad RNG in this prison, but handles it nicely.
Oh, good. I was afraid that it was going to come straight up the middle like it often does, but it looks like it just got a shot straight up.
Yeah, being able to react like that when you get poor RNG is really important in a tournament setting.
Alright, let's see a nice clean blind here. And then Thalane having a little bit of trouble here in the prison. Nice bonk setup for that third phase.
Yeah, just put you on a consistent Y pixel. Just makes it a little bit easier to kind of predict exactly what Link's and Blind's move is going to be. Blind picking up that extra heart. Blind does do 2 hearts of damage, so it's not too difficult just to get bonked once. So 3 is usually what's considered like safe.
Yeah, just in case there's like an accidental spin or a fireball comes get you.
Or this happens. Yeah, his setup looked a little wonky, and I was, oh no, oh, that's this is
the dodges.
Wow. God, I so want him to. Oh my god, that's really unfortunate. Those are some hot dodges, and then he just ended up blind shot a fireball right when he was going in for the hit.
Yeah, that fireball right by the pause on like the far left wall, I'm amazed that that didn't hit. That was really crazy to see.
Yeah, he's also gonna have to fix fake Dark World here when he comes out, so hopefully he remembers that.
I thought you had to fix it before you re-entered.
No, you do, it's the fake Dark World on Blind. What happens is when you transition screens, you'll be put back into the actual White World. Well, kind of. Like your palette will be still all screwed up. So if you forget, it's just a pretty big time loss because you'll have to go up into the Dark World portal north of Kakariko.
It was also kind of interesting. The spin that Thalane had actually kept Blind from doing a hit on him right there in the second phase.
Yeah, it's Flame having a pretty decent refight. Really, because Blind starts at the top, you can't really do the fight correct. Louis not getting the fence dash.
The crowd favorite.
Yeah, clearly
fence
thalane
dash.
is time to catch up now, as long as he gets it.
Of all the memes that we have for many different Zelda runs, I appreciate the fence dash the most.
Yeah, so you can see thalane mirroring right when he came out of Thieves Town, mirrored back into Dark World. That puts him back in the proper state. Basically, that happens because we haven't killed Aga yet, so the flag doesn't get set. The game isn't quite sure where to put us because it doesn't expect you to be in the Dark World with Aga still alive. So just mirroring, for whatever reason, mirroring it fixes that.
Now, technical question: if you don't mirror and you try to progress as normal, is there like a soft lock, or does just the game kind of
No,
freak
like I
out?
said, you just transition. When you hit a screen transition, it puts you back into the actual light world. So like
Okay, so like when you're trying to go down to the library, it's just gonna put you right there.
yeah, it'll be in the library. So you'd have to go dash back up to the Dark World because you do need to get this frog for the Tempered Sword. Yeah, really the only sword we really have a chance at getting in this route. So we would have to go back to Dark World. I guess you could get the book at the very least, but you'd have to come pretty much all the way back here anyways. Yeah, so Louis with a pretty commanding lead at this point. Again, there are plenty of horrible things that could happen. Pretty much any of the big ones. Honestly, the blind death, as far as like really bad things go, isn't too terribly bad. Like a vitreous death or a cold stare death is pretty punishing. But even just like a soft lock on like a TR climb or something, it would be a pretty big chunk of time that the lane would have to be able to get back here.
Yeah, I appreciate. I mean, granted, good execution and then missing fence dashes, notwithstanding, can really help out with just like a runner that's very consistent. But I greatly appreciate like stuff like that in this category that keeps races.
Yeah, I mean, even if Louis having a little trouble here, a Moth Death honestly would put this back to pretty close. I mean, you can see if Lane just entering Skullwoods here, Louis would just be back at the beginning of the back half. Still have a little bit of a lead, but definitely put it back in contention. Ooh, wow, very nice cleaning up there. That was a pretty mean conveyor. Louis was just able to sneak in there with the poke dash, clean up that Moth.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive moth too.
Yeah, not the Moth pattern you want to see when you're only in there on 3 hearts. Ooh, thalane having some trouble in Mummy Statue, unfortunately.
And gets
Yeah.
grabbed. Oh no!
Yeah, this definitely happens when you kind of have a disaster like that, especially playing a guy like Louis. Where you know you got to be on the top of your game to win. Once the wheels start coming off, it can be pretty difficult to kind of recenter your head and keep going. So shout outs to thalane for powering through this.
At least the game is being nice and gave back a bomb that Thalane used. I think that Bush Slice was hoping for a fairy there.
Lily, moving on to the Desert Palace split. This is pretty annoying split. There's a lot of RNG up on this Death Mountain. We have to do our shopping here. Basically, once you get into Desert Palace, besides some like nasty Lambo RNG, it's pretty straightforward. But all this overall movement, there's not a lot of overall movement in this category, but the little of it that we have to do is almost always terrible. The split being a pretty prime example of it. How did that dead rock not block him? I can't
was
believe that
curious
happened.
about that one too.
Thalane having a nice optimal mummy room, though. Fortunately, he's going to be heading into his Moth on 3 hearts as well. Again, doesn't take much for the 3-heart fight to go wrong. Hopefully, Moth will give him some pretty nice RNG. Really hate to see anything else horrible happen to Thalane. Wow, one of those hits must not have counted. Because I definitely counted 5 in there, and it looked like he took 5.
Yeah, lucky to have 3 hearts there. Otherwise, that going very hard on Moth there would not have paid off. Good fight though. Good clean.
Yeah, especially on 1 heart. The problem with Moth is you can't come in and like be aggressive. So unless Moth gives you a very good pattern, the fight can go south very quickly. We have a very nice swamp overroll bomb clip there. He's going to be doing his Footless Mire teleport here. I think he's... Yeah, he was 1 pixel too low, unfortunately. He gets it second try nicely, though.
Thalane scooting on into the housekeeping section.
Yeah, a little over 2-minute gap between these two guys. But Louis, this is definitely Louis' match to lose at this point. Louis just got to make sure he doesn't have any major disasters and should be okay. So Louis is going to be heading into his Lambo fight here. Pretty easy to lose some time in here if he gets you bad RNG. Did lose about 10 seconds here versus more of a optimal Desert Palace. Not much went wrong for Louis in that split. But yeah, it's pretty easy for the split to go south pretty quickly. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even the first hit on the second one.
Yeah, just oh man. The third 3-cycle Lambo is pretty aggravating to get.
Fantastic first try clip there for Thalane for Fluteless.
Yeah, so just Thalane right now just behind the actual desert part of Desert Palace. Pretty quick on this back half of the dungeon. Louis is running into some problems, you know, is kind of letting Thalane stick around. But Louis is in a pretty nice place for a tournament setting, you know. Being like plus 35 over his PB means the PB is probably unlikely. So really just has to concentrate on winning the race more than playing perfectly, especially because of the size of this gap. So we may see him do maybe a little bit safer stuff. Maybe might skip the Meyer bomb jump. I'm not sure if he normally goes for it. I don't think he does actually.
This is a pretty clean Meyer too, by the way, as well. Alright, so looks like Louis is going to be setting up for the bomb jump after the big key here.
Yeah, usually skipping that barrier is an indication that you will be going for it. So we'll see if he does or not. Yeah, well, he's saying he's got to do it in text here, so.
So 40-14 torches, and then I'm going to use that as a nice timing method to see where the lane is behind Louis.
Yeah, I mean, failing the bomb jump doesn't lose that much. It only loses about 6 or 7 seconds. Basically, just the time it took you to plant the bomb and wait it out. So it's really not all that risky going for. Planting. Okay, well, never mind.
I feel debated.
I mean, he did go for it. I'll give him that. He went for something. Yeah, I think he was doing the setup where you kind of like diagonal up and then you dash turn down to put the bomb. Just didn't do the dash turning down part. But yeah, doing the smart thing, really just give it one try. At this point, your bombs are pretty limited. You really don't want to be wasting extra ones on that clip, since it saves so little time. Since you pretty much need them 100% for these clips coming up.
Ooh, sword and select buffers here. Looks good.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Good.
Yeah, so the main thing, like, that can be a little bit faster in the room than the bomb clip that we'll be seeing here shortly from thalane. The main thing is it preserves your beams, which are pretty necessary to get at least a consistent fast fire too. There are backup strats and other things you can do to either get a heart or just use the fire rod, but they're slower and just kind of a little bit more dependent on RNG.
Oh, looks like waiting to see if those bombs were going to drop for thalane. I think the total is pretty good for thalane as far as bombs are concerned. So we're looking at 42-43, so it's about, what, a minute 30 or minute 29 difference, or 2 minutes 29 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's above 2 minutes. I didn't quite see what Louis' torch's time was.
40-14. Yeah, it's not that substantial of a time loss. I mean, it's big, but there's still a lot left in this run that can give thalane some time to close those gaps.
Yeah, I mean, Death on Vidi would pretty much even it up and really put him thalane in the lead. Vidi is not that scary in this category though, since we do get the fairy refill. Even though we have less hearts overall in this dungeon than we would in NMG, because you get the refill before you take or after you take some guaranteed damage. You generally are going into Vidi with a pretty healthy amount. You can even get buffed by an eyeball usually and be okay.
Yeah, those eyeballs are a little bit sneaky from time to time.
Yeah, Viddy is weird in this category because like for a newer player, he's definitely one of the scarier bosses. But for an experienced player who's pretty good at pretty good at managing their health, Viddy is actually pretty unthreatening in this category. The funny thing is, I actually learned the optimal Viddy strat because when I was running this category, because I would take damage. But glad I know it now for NMG at least. Yeah, but Flame definitely doing what he needs to do. He's been having, since that blind death and just a little bit of trouble in Skull Woods. Just, having a really solid run at this point. Just, kind of staying within, just outside of shouting distance of Louis. Forcing Louis to not make any major mistakes to be able to take this win.
Yeah, Louis with a very nice no problems Viddy here, and then Thalane's just been kind of like recovering ever since the issues that we had mid run. So really nice to see just kind of like a consistency come back. Ooh, that was really nice. Good adjustment. Wasn't gonna make it all the way to the bottom of the falling bridge without taking any kind of damage there, so I chose to break it off a little bit early there, just ensuring the health management throughout this dungeon. So we'll see how Louis handles getting out of Mire here. Looks like going for the quickest strat here. A little bit of trouble. Ooh, barely skates by and gets it. Very nice.
Manages to dodge the fireball.
Yeah, was it just like a quick couple of buffers in, like getting off the right pixel and then just like dash buffering back out just to pop back in?
I think he just probably wasn't hitting right and A on the same frame, which is what caused you to pop out a bit. Louis skipping the anti-fairy skip by just running right into it. Louis just getting bodied by everything here in the swamp. Not really a scary dungeon. Pretty easy. This is one of those dungeons you don't really generally lose the run-in, but you can pretty easily lose 20 seconds if you have a little trouble with Diver Down and you miss the 0 cycle.
At the second dungeon that you do if you were to do this game as intended. But what's really interesting about it is that there's like really no ways to recover health via anti-fairies that like some people get used to when they're first learning like the no major glitches category and they go for safety such as powder.
Yeah, I mean, really, your only safety here is these two pots on the left here in the restock room.
Yeah,
Louis doing the dash of shame through there.
Yeah, it's pretty funny just to like, how many people often just get bodied by a couple of things here and there and just like consistently lose 1-2 hearts.
Yeah, the swamp definitely is a death by 1,000 paper cups type of dungeon. There's nothing really that's really gonna just kind of like this scary by itself, but there's a lot of RNG with all these enemies. And then even just, if you come into Argus on low health, what happened to Louis can happen to you, and all of a sudden you died on Argus. But Louis does fail the 0 cycle, but is able to at least clean up the quick 1 cycle nicely. So losing a little time here. Again, he's definitely pretty much out of PB range here. He is running against 3 blue balls, but he's a good 50 seconds behind. So he's in again, pretty comfortable spot. Really just has to, complete this run cleanly, and he should come away with the win.
Yeah, thalane having a little bit of trouble as well. Wasn't able to get it. The first time was denied by a fireball. Second time was denied by a fireball. So luckily got it the third time with getting out of the mine.
We do have Ice Palace coming up for Louis. Ice Palace does have the infamous hard lock, which would set Louis back 15 minutes. Pretty rare to see. We've only really seen it. I don't even think we've seen it in brackets. We saw it in group stages a couple times. But besides that, again, you're going to be going into Cold Syrup a lot more health than you would in NMG, but it doesn't take a lot just to get, if he gets away from you, you can get bopped twice pretty easily and get a death. And that is about a 3-minute death. Especially without any of your kind of equipment.
We go for an adjustment and gets a second try there.
Oh god, the diagonals that people do to save like a frame there, right next to that hard lock, just gives me a heart attack every time.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like,
It literally saves like 2 frames. It's like, okay.
the things we do for 2 frames, man. The things we do for 2 frames.
Well, the funny, like he did the slash that I'm a fan of too, which just kind of allows you just to buffer in like a right cleanly to make sure you don't do something like a diagonal or something. And that's about 12 frames, so it's funny to see him diagonal after that. But if he knows his cues pretty well, if you know exactly where you are, then it's pretty safe. Pretty clean diver down, or not diver, excuse me, icebreaker there. Oh, Louis pointing out that diagonal was not intentional. Okay.
Oh, so even more, my heartbeat is racing.
Yeah, I think that makes it worse, honestly. That
it's just like, yeah, I almost just completely destroyed this run.
Going for his 0 cycle? Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I was
when you've seen enough of these, you can see it kind of going south. And I saw that puff on the bottom right, like, that's probably too low.
Yeah, Argus was just making quick movements anyway, just getting right up there.
Yeah, it's really weird because, like, you kind of want the first movement to be short, so you have kind of like time to start backpedaling. But after that, you generally want the long ones, because if he gives you like 3 short ones, it's like impossible to actually get. It doesn't even like. I think it literally is impossible if you get 3 shorts. But it's pretty rare.
Yeah, and it's just too much to ask that when we're taking a puff away from Argus that it stops moving for a half a frame.
Okay, Louis going for the double poke. Unfortunately, getting hit by the ice, is able to clean it up.
Yeah, just really going like aggressive on these dungeons now.
Yeah,
we've been seeing like Louis push through the damage in Swamp, been pushing through the damage in Desert, and now just pushing through the damage here in Ice.
Yeah, see, thalane pretty much behind by exactly 1 dungeon. Ice Palace is just around, or just above 3 minutes, like a 3. Let's say I think thalane's goal is like a 3:14. It says. Louis still's got like a good 20 seconds left in this cutscene too, so just under 3-minute difference between these 2 guys. But I mean, at this point, there's really not a lot of. I mean, you can like Louis could soft lock on the TR climb, and he could die to Trinix. That's probably just a little over 2 minutes by himself. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here.
Yeah, so there is a fix for what thalane did. We go a little too high, he can't actually get this jump down. He can actually tap right and then basically do the mirror wrap while facing the wrong direction.
Choosing to play it safe and save and quit. I can understand it.
Yeah, it's not a widely known fix. It's one of the things I have to add to the tutorial. Honestly, there's we did a lot of work at the beginning of it, and then there was a bunch of stuff that's been found in the actual tournament. So I got to go back and update all that stuff. Yeah, Doom, I think you're right. I think there you could just hold left and you'll jump, and then you'll go into the swimming state. But yeah, unfortunately for Thalane, he really his run has actually been pretty good, except for the two major mistakes that he's made.
Definitely the easier of the mirror wraps here. Very cleanly done.
Louis going for the walk strat. Oh, that was a very rude helmet pattern. I don't. That's pretty rare for him just to beeline you completely like that. Interesting that Louis opt to saving a heart here. I guess, yeah. I think he might be thinking ahead to Trinex. You know, it's not too difficult to take 1 heart of damage or 1 hit from Trinex, which is 4 hearts. So saving the heart there, he's not really guaranteed any hearts from here on out. I guess there is the pot at the end, but having 5 will allow him to take 1 extra hit from Trinex, or 1 hit from the pokies here even.
I gotta say, the frame rate that Louis game is getting captured, I can't see if Link has like the iframes. So just kind of like watching them run through those like roller pins. It's kind of got me worried. Yeah. Like I know they'll be fine, but it's just like, oh, they're not blinking.
Yeah, I mean the first one you actually don't even need iframes. By the time you put the block and slash it, the roller's already past you, so you don't need the iframes from that. Hopefully Louis would do the just tap A strat here. Oh, well, we tried to. He did it a little late.
Helma beeline for Louis again.
That is... that Helma has it out for him today. Holy hell.
It's Helmasaur's nephew. He's trying to get revenge.
Yeah, he may still opt to pick up this heart here right at the end. I think there is some stuff in Trinex that does 2 hearts of damage. Nope, just opts to go straight for it.
Well, Lucky didn't get frame rolled and just fall off. And actually, it may not be a frame roll, but just that weird quirk where sometimes you still get the platform, but just Link just drops below.
Oh, Louis, I had faith in you. You going for the sad normal Trinex strat, not poke dashing, even though it would save him 0 time here.
So basically, what you want, you just want to see like the advanced optimal strats here from Louis.
Thalane's going to be moving into his TR split right now, right as Louis is cleaning it up.
Yeah, so from what we've seen, I can imagine that, you know, Louis, with a little bit of time ahead, could possibly, you know, just take a moment to get a little bit of extra health for G Tower from the old man, as opposed to just going for it.
Yeah, I would not be surprised with him being pretty much a minute behind his PB right now. He's really only thing he's playing for is the win. So I would not be surprised if he took this heal for a little bit of extra safety. Nope, he's just gonna go for it.
Oh no!
What is with this helmet today? Like
What is mutual assured destruction?
Gee, like that is.
Thalane taking a little bit of a. Oh, getting some hearts. That's what it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen that as a backup strat before.
Legit, I didn't even know that those were there.
Those are the rando hearts. Well, oh, Thalane saying that was not on purpose. I guess he just took the wrong way, and then he figured while he was over there, might as well get the hearts. That makes sense. If you're gonna go the wrong way like that, might as well pick up the hearts.
Just scooting by him. Wow, I'm actually kind of amazed there that Louis didn't get damage boosted into the ground. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Thalane having quite the go over here.
Not even a fairy. Very wary of the helmet.
Yeah, I feel like that's cathartic for both our runners. Just saying that Helmasaur get thrown into the void like that.
There you go. A little bit of a frame save later on.
Yeah, at this point, I think Thalane kind of realizes the situation. Just wanting to make sure he can, doesn't want to die again. Just wants to kind of finish up the run.
Louis with a sweet chest turn. Just Louis jamming through GT right now. Let's see how the gauntlet.
Yeah, at this point, pretty much the only thing standing in Louis' way is the ye old Ganon Towers despawn.
I don't think we've seen any of that in brackets or group stages.
I don't think so. It's pretty rare to happen. It's you have to go through the entire torches room, and hit one exact frame when you're going up the stairs.
It's right as the torches go out, right, and you get the jingle right as you're going up.
Yeah. But yeah, a guy like Louis, especially he got through the gauntlet with this many hearts. Probably not going to die here in GT. I mean, even if he just somehow took a laser to the face, he'd be able to get through this. Playing with a very nice GT clip.
Very clean torches as well.
Yeah, if you have clean torches like that, you're pretty much not going to get the jingle as long as you skip the heart. Yeah, it does get through cleanly. Now this is still a pretty good run for Louis. It's probably going to be kind of right around that, definitely in the 111s. So very strong run from Louis. Not too many major mistakes. A little slop in a couple places, but just playing pretty well from start to finish.
excellent timing there on the hook shot too.
I think coming into this, Thalane knew Louis was going to have to have a couple of struggles for him to take the win, so maybe you can take that as a kind of a consolation prize that even if he didn't have his disasters, that Louis would probably ended up taking this one anyways.
Narrowly avoiding the triple there.
Not the friendliest Aga 2 patterns I've seen. This one's not too bad. It does take a energy ball to the face though.
Looks like it's probably going to be a 4-cycle here.
Yeah, able to clean it up. Yeah, it was very good Gannis Tower from Louis. Yeah, even with that 4-cycle, he's going to be coming in here with just like a, looks like a 7-10 maybe? 7-11? 7-12.
Thalane just having a wonderful time here in this room.
Yeah, these are some nice,
like damage here.
I like to call these alternative strats. Thalane may opt to take the Josh Harris here. You know, he's in a pretty bad situation here, or he might just opt to go for it. Wouldn't be surprised just to see him go for it, and then maybe get the forfeit if things do go badly. See what he decides. Yeah, he's just gonna go for it. I I respect the hell out of his decision, to be honest.
All right, let's watch this gamer game.
Wow, manages to get a heart without losing more hearts.
That feels impossible in this room.
Yeah, it's the golden rule of Gauntlet is to never go for hearts. And we're back to where we were. Oh, I think Louis got Dragon Ball Z'd, shooting the spear with his fire rod.
And denied here in G3.
Yeah, and Thalane is gonna forfeit with that. Louis really just has to finish his Aga fight, finish, you know, his Ganon fight, all pretty straightforward.
Get the red mail. Just testing to see if the lane's listening.
So Louis is gonna be heading into his Aga 1 fight here.
The lane just hovering about. So far just one blue ball, I believe.
Yeah, I've been mostly watching the lane jerk around here. It's way more entertaining than this Aga 1 fight.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty typical 3 blue ball fight here from Louis as we look to the left on the thalane sketch comedy hour.
Oh, we did get the red mail. Very good.
The winner in my heart, at least.
It's a
But not
perfect screen to end on. Not even going to put on the red mail. I'm just going to leave it on this text box here. Yeah, Doom. I like Doom's idea. Go get go get the blue mail.
go get the blue mail and go get the power glove. Just depower yourself.
He can go get the Master Sword at this point if he wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Meanwhile, the competitor's still in the race. In his Ganon fight right here.
I promise we're serious.
Yeah, again, for a guy like Louis, this fight's pretty much going to be pretty much straightforward, and then with the lane with the forfeit, even if the worst case scenario happens, I'm just going to have to rewatch this fight again.
That was a really nice 1-1.
And Ganon making us sit here for even longer with these warps. Of course. Of course.
2 yakety sacks.
Ganon, we just want to go home. What the hell is this shit?
Miss me with that. Oh, there we go.
That definitely crossed the line from tragedy into comedy at some point. I think somewhere around the 8th warp. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, so remember when I said Louis pretty much guaranteed to get a 111 here? Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, that was before.
That's on me.
Ganon hitting us with the you thoughts.
All right, finally into our phase 4. We shouldn't have much difficulty cleaning this one up. Losing 41 seconds on Ganon is pretty rough. I had a PB one. It was 3 blue balls, and I lost more time on Ganon from warps. It was pretty devastating. But yeah, Louis is going to be finishing up here. He's going to be pulling in here. It looks like he's going to finish up with a 112.30. Very nice run for him. Like, it just lost. Yeah, that really should have been a 111. Getting a plus 41 on Ganon when you get the 1-1 is pretty bad.
I mean, kind of averaging out the majority of the runs from the bracket stages, 112 seems to be like right in the median, like a nice average.
Yeah, it's it's getting to the point where these mid 112s aren't going to take races much longer. But we are joined by thalane now. GG's to you.
Hey, GG's.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you obviously had the blind death, unfortunately, early on there. But besides that, your run was actually looking fairly solid, kind of until the end there, when like I'm sure you realized the writing on the wall. But you had a really good run through the tournament. I think I think every single time I joined one of your race channels for the last 4 weeks, you're like, well, this is my last race, and you ended up making it to the top 12. So very nice run from you overall.
In general, about the tournament, I really can't complain. As you said, every time I joined a race, I was like, okay, well, it's gonna be GG this night, right? And then I miraculously won this a match, and the next one, and the next one, I was like, okay, well, it's going better than expected. But I mean, Louis is super consistent. He's like a god gamer, and pretty much every game he picks up, right? So this was GG for sure for me. And yeah, dying to blind, I mean, I can't even remember the last time that happened, so I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, I saw it like you set it up and I was like, well, that doesn't look right, and then it went south real quick. I'm like, that's bad. Those dodges though in the corner were pretty hot. Yeah, those are amazing. And then you just ran into the fireball at the bottom. I was like, well, that's unfortunate because that was a moment of gaming followed by a moment of anti-gaming, I suppose. But yeah, again, really nice run. I hope you enjoyed the tournament. I think, like we were saying before, I think you may have saved the most time off your PB coming into this tournament to now, like a little over 6 minutes, because you had like a 119 or something, didn't you?
That was like way before the tournament. That was like 1.5 years ago, I think. And then I obviously played like a lot of NMG, a lot of randos, so execution went way better. And then like before the tournament started, I put some time into this, not very much, I think, but like good enough for what is it, top 12, I think. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, you were definitely better than your PB. Those first couple PBs were pretty free for you, but yeah, I mean, ended up with you do have the 112 now, so very nicely done. Hopefully you enjoyed the tournament. Louis is going to be moving on, and he's going to be playing the winner of me versus Kaznode. Louis in chat. If Louis got any thoughts about that potential matchup. So I want Louis to win because now he beat me, and then if he beats me, right, I can say I'm better than you in this. Let's hope Louis wins.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be playing Kaz.
Oh, you already lost?
No, I'm saying.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, the struggles have been real lately with this category, but yeah, I mean it can definitely be. Yeah, it comes and goes, So. We'll see.
You're gonna come into that run with big thalane energy, just going, well, this is my last run.
Yeah, I haven't been saying this is my first losers bracket match. So that hasn't been. It's not necessarily going to be my last one before this, but yeah, this Kaz is obviously a pretty good player. So I think at this point, actually, I think with thalane, you and Chex losing this week. Everyone left. Oh wait, no, Andy, of course. Everyone has a 1 level except for Andy. So, but yeah, unless if either you or Louis have any, Louis throwing the eyes at me in chat, I see there. But if you got anything else to say, you want to sign off, go for it, I guess.
I just want to say thank you guys for organizing this and like restreaming a lot of races. I always think this is like pretty cool because it's a lot of time investment from everyone like organizing these kind of events. So thanks a lot, and hope the rest of the tourney is still going as good as this went so far.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's been a long one for sure. Definitely after this week we'll be down to the top 8. We're in the top 12 right now. So it's going to take a little bit of time for the losers bracket to finally settle out, but yeah, should be a good one. Should be exciting. Definitely have a lot of good runners left. Pretty much anyone could take it at this point. Zelda already getting upset by Dow, so definitely can see that. Just consistency really matters, and consistency in this category is very difficult. So, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Glad that, especially like I said, you really improved your PB through this. A lot of people did. So I think that was the main thing. I've seen some people who are out of the tournament. I've seen like them posting PBs or runs. So it's just nice for this category to get a little bit more exposure, which was really the main point of this. But yeah, with that, I think we'll throw it back to ZSR to close us out then. Unless, Ninnies, do you have anything else to say? Sorry, I've been...
Dude, don't even worry about it. You said pretty much everything that I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for restreaming. The racers for putting on a really good show for us. Thalane for providing us with a little bit of comedy when the run was over. So thank you so much for all.
Yeah, it was really good. Thanks for hanging in there. And like I said, we'll throw it back to ZSR now to finish this out.
Alright then, thank you so much Apathy Duck and Ninnies for the excellent commentary. Thank you Thalane and Louis for the awesome race. Coming up in this tournament tomorrow at 9:01 a.m. we have Jarsh RTA versus Zelda. And then on Sunday at 10 o'clock p.m. we have Kaznode versus Apathy Duck. Those are both going to be on the main ZSR channel. As for other ZSR stuff, we have the Majora's Mask Weekly. Majora's Mask Randall Weekly is tomorrow at noon. Yeah, noon. And also at noon, 15 minutes after, we have the TMCR tournament match between Daxon Malant and Nimbus 125. As well as the Minish Cap 80% monthly race at 3:30 p.m. I am trying to translate time zones and I shouldn't be doing that. In any case, as of right now, over on ZSR, we have the grand finals of the Ocarina of Time Randomizer tournament happening, so we're going to go ahead and raid them. I hope you all had a great time watching the race today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day as well. Bye!